And today I've been talking about the network transformation roadmap that I'm developing for Aurora Energy. And that's about optimising the connection of distributed energy resources like solar power, electric vehicles, storage batteries to the grid. And it turns out that it's really important to understand the capacity of those networks to connect new technologies, solar power, electric vehicles, for example, and then ways to be able to increase the capacity of that network to allow consumers to connect more electric vehicles and solar power, and ultimately help New Zealand meet its climate change commitments by putting on low carbon technology that offsets fossil fuel consumption.
Yes, a lot of the trends in the electricity sector and some of the technologies it can use are really exciting, but it's important to remember that traditionally some of these technologies have been set aside just for a privileged few. So it's important to understand how we might be able to get the most benefit out of those technologies for a whole range of households, including vulnerable communities and vulnerable households.
When communities plan for accommodating growth into the future, they traditionally consider planning for infrastructure like water, three waters and roading, but power distribution isn't actually on the list. I think it'd be really important for Aurora to be at the table in those discussions so that communities have access to innovative and low-cost solutions into the future.
I think as a fast-growing region, Queenstown's got a huge amount of growth ahead of it, but also understanding how across all infrastructure, the infrastructure that Council owns, but also the third-party infrastructure, how we meet that growth but also maintain the resilience and security and reliability of those services to our community is absolutely pivotal for us as a challenge.
What we're trying to achieve out of this is try to get business engaged with the conversation. It's one that they need to be engaged in when they think about what their future is going to look like. And we need to get them involved in it because they are the end users of it and they could be the major disruptors of it or be disrupted by it.
What I see the biggest challenges that we've got in our region for our members, and we came pretty firmly to the agreement that the challenges that we face is around growth. And growth in and of itself isn't bad, but it's growth and managing the social, economic and the environmental impacts of that in our area. What I've kind of come to realise today is that energy generation and usage may go out to consumers as well as being consumers. They may be people who contribute.
The Dunedin City Council have got about 8 or 900 million to spend the next 10 years as a $1.4 billion hospital. Queenstown Lakes has a significant, about $1 billion investment over the next 10 years as well. So there's lots of infrastructure coming that will require skilled resource and people. And then on top of that, Aurora's got another $8 or $900 million investment plan to upgrade their network.
You know, what we do around energy is really, really important, especially thinking about climate change going forward. So I think decarbonising our energy system is a real challenge, and there's a number of things we have to do, and one of the key ways to decarbonise an energy system is really to electrify it. And so this is electrifying transport, electrifying heat. And so there's going to be an increasing demand for electricity. And we need to think about what role Aurora has to play in that transition.